I'm going to shuffle the sequence a little bit. After this broad introduction, I think we should dive headlong into the subject matter, and no better person than Dr. Bhalge. Dr. Bhalge, who has a master's in irrigation and water management, has been working with the Water Resource Department, Government of Maharashtra for more than 2 decades. He has been visiting faculty at Government Engineering College as well as a professor at Water and Land Management Institute. He has many publications to his credit, amongst them many books on irrigation and management of water, medieval rainwater harvesting techniques, and many others. He's published many papers in international conferences. Some of them are water culture and water environment protection, traditional wisdom in water management, a case study of Daulatabad Fort, water management in arid and semi-arid zones, and many others. He has also presented many papers in national conferences. There are many, but I'll just mention 2 titles which I found interesting. One of them is a traditional water culture in different ethnic habitat of Yunnan province, China, and the other is ideal historical river water use system prevalent in India since more than 1000 years. But why we have invited him today is because he's documented and studied the Nahars of Aurangabad in details, and he has today a very interesting presentation for us. I present before you Dr. Bhalge.
The old waterworks of Aurangabad town, situated on the bank of Kam river in Maharashtra state of India, is one of the glorious relic of Mughal engineering skills. 52 numbers underground channel or tunnels called as Nahars, conveying water to different parts of the city, were constructed in different period. The important of them are listed here: Nahar-e Ambari, Nahar-e Palsi, Nahar-e Nasrullah, Nahar-e Panchakki, Nahar-e Chausar, Nahar-e Dargah Hasrat Shahnur Hamvi, Nahar-e Chhauni. Underground springs flowing down the Joban hills towards the Sangvi river. The groundwater is intercepted, the water makes to percolate into the artificially built underground channel or tunnel, and the accumulated water is then conveyed by tunnel towards the town. Malik Ambar, he was a commander of Nizam Shahi King and Subedar of Daulatabad. He is a by-born hydrologist. He introduced the memorable underground channel or tunnel system called as Nahar-e Ambari in 1617 AD. The rainwater harvesting, as we said in these days, this technique was used for this Nahar-e Ambari. He discovered a subterranean water table of mountainous elevated valley in north of Aurangabad. He procured a stable perennial water supply system. This Aurangabad city is situated in a valley, and high terrains exist around the city from north, south and east, such that the water can flow down towards the town by gravity. The Joban Hills, they are situated on the north side of Aurangabad city, and from near the Joban Hills, a step well is there. From this step well, the Nahar starts. Actually, the rainfall over these hills in this catchment is collected. The underground water, that is called as subsurface water, comes to this tunnel. This is the underground tunnel. The cross section is like this. This tunnel has a number of openings, and it is a underground. And this Nahar, this is a conduit. It's type of it's exact not a conduit, but it's a masonry tunnel, constructed masonry tunnel underground. This water from the Joban Hills is brought to this in front of the Taj Hotel. Here is an outlet for this tunnel, and then it is distributed by terracotta pipelines. So we can see the inside part of this tunnel. This tunnel is this Nahar-e Ambari has 2 parts. One is the underground channel constructed deep below the ground. You can see here, this is the underground channel, and the other part is network of buried terracotta pipeline for distribution of the water in different part of the city. Nahar is rectangular in shape with slightly arched shaped roof at the top. You can see this is a rectangular part and a slight arch is there at the top. And this water is flowing through this Nahar. This is also a photo of this inside view, showing the inside view of the Nahar. You can see from there are some air vents, and this picture is taken from the top. This water is flowing, clear water is flowing from this. These air vents are provided for cleaning and maintenance of the Nahar. In the north of Aurangabad, near Sangvi village, Jauban hills are situated. 1.6 kilometer away from the Sangvi village, the Nahar is originated from the foot of the hills. This is the starting point. This is the end point, Gomukh, outside this Taj Hotel. And this total length of this Nahar is 4.46 kilometer. And the level difference between this is the starting point and this is the end point. This level difference is 42.68 meter. With this head, the water flows by gravity through this Nahar. And these are the air shafts. One picture we have seen, these air shafts are, these 100 numbers of air shafts are constructed here. How this construction is made, then we will see. A deep trench is excavated into the ground. Stone masonry tunnel is constructed at the bottom of the trench. That section, cross section I have shown you. Joints of the stones are kept open. V folds are also provided on the vertical walls and in the roof slabs in such a way that the groundwater in the surrounding soils can find their way into the tunnels. The groundwater, this tunnel collects the groundwater. The water collected is then conveyed towards the city. The canal is dug in the porous layers of the ground so that large quantity of water may be supplied by the percolation. After construction of the tunnel and air vents, the remaining part of the trench is filled with excavated stuff. You can see here in this picture, taken into the ground, this part, the masonry Nahar, the underground tunnel, is built first. At suitable locations, air vents are also built, and then again it is refilled with the excavated stuff. The depth of this tunnel is 15 to 20 meter deep. Sometimes it is 4 or 5 meter deep. This is the ground surface. You can see the cross section of the Nahar as the average width is 0.75 meter and the average depth ranging from 1 to 4.5 meters. Sometimes it is 1 meter, at few places it is 4.5 meter. This channel, this Nahar, runs, in some part it runs parallel to this Sangvi river, is kept below the river bed to take the advantage of the subsurface flow of the river. When the river flows with water, when water flows in the river, this water gets percolated down into the sand layers, and that water is trapped into this Nahar. For that purpose, the bed of the Nahar is kept somewhat below the bed of the river. Towers, the cross section of these air vents, air shafts, it is like that. 100 rectangular or sometimes it is circular hollow shafts of air vents in the form of manholes are provided on the Nahar. These were used for cleaning of the canal and pipe. Today, when we design a pipe distribution network for carrying water, we provide some air release valves so that the pressure which develop into the pipe system is to be released. Same technique they have provided here, and they provided these air shafts. These shafts are open to air. If some pressure is developed in the pipe, this can be released. Simple hollow structures with small pit to intercept silt and allow clear water to proceed. The peculiarity of this Nahar is that the subsurface water gets filtered through the soil media and then clear water enters into the tunnel. Just like wells, in wells also the groundwater gets filtered first and then comes to the well. The same technique is used here to have a clear water. There is a network of 20 to 30 centimeter diameter terracotta pipe emerging from the Gomukh. That is the last outlet of the Nahar. From that outlet, the pipe is distributed with this type of conduits, terracotta pipes. You can see here, these are the sockets. So in one socket, the other's pipe can be fitted well. This is a one picture of a rectangular distribution chamber. The top of the distribution chamber is like that. Suppose this is a inlet and it is to be branched into three. This is the outlet. So the water coming from one line can be branched into more than one lines through the distribution chamber. The distribution chamber also serves the purpose of releasing air pressure developed in the pipeline. These towers are often circular or rectangular. The height of the air towers depends upon the ground level and the hydraulic gradient line. Therefore, some air towers are seen tall and some are short. The water received from the Nahar is collected here in a tank. Treated and purified water is supplied to the nearby area of the city. Purification tank and the water from the Nahar, this is a inlet. The water from the Nahar is brought to this purification tank. It is oxidized here. Water is supplied in these days also to the city. The discharge of the Nahar is reduced to large extent. Some of the reasons are listed below. Number of farmers in the vicinity of the Nahar is lifting the groundwater with the help of electric pump sets. Quantity of subsurface water percolating into the Nahar is thus reduced. Because the groundwater, they are exploiting the groundwater, therefore the quantity is reduced, which is accumulating in the Nahar. The subsurface flow of the Sangvi river is reduced due to the exploitation of groundwater. More groundwater is exploited from the river. Removal of the sand layer is removed for construction purposes, and thus there is no storage. The storage of the river is, underground storage of the river is reduced, so the water coming into the Nahar is also reduced. Silt and debris are accumulated in the Nahar. At some time it is found that the water is lifted directly from the Nahar, and this reduces the water flow. Thank you very much.